guys, welcome back to the Gear Locker. Today, we're going to be talking about a project that has been years in the making and pays homage to the old KVB kits that we would do a few years back. One of my favorite photo sets from the KSK is of a hostage rescue training, which is part of the 10-week CQB course. And they use primarily issued equipment, so this equipment is very standardized. However, there are some unique flares to each kit that you see, and I picked one of my favorites. This particular commando is wearing a particularly powerful breacher kit. So without further ado, let's dive into all of the details and everything that I'm excited to show you with my 2010 CQB training breacher kit. First, we're going to start with the first line equipment, primarily the uniform. There's a lot of minor equipment that was used, but the base uniform is the Char Einsatzkampf Plus with the Char Einsatzkampf Hose. Now, on the uniform, there's two particular things that are of note. One is their patch. You'll see that this soldat is wearing a Y41-4 patch. Mine is not an exact representation of that patch, just the number that I use for KBB. Additionally, he's made a modification to his Einsatzkampf Plus with a strip of soft Velcro on the underside of the collar. This was a modification done so that they could attach breacher hoods, something that is very common to use simply because they don't want glass or any shards of anything falling down into their shirt. For the breacher hood, they would use this extremely rare piece right here. This is the hood off of an Einsatz Kombi. That is a full suit, but this is just the hood piece that was attached with a zipper. However, once you attach a strip of Velcro on the inside, you'll see that it would fit perfectly to the Einsatzkampf Plus and would then be able to be used as protection for the wearer. Additionally, on the face, an old-style Black Hawk balaclava was used. This is primarily in green, although of course you do see some other options out there. On their hands, he used the Black Hawk Solog gloves. These are very tough gloves, although they do wear out rather quickly. But these are very popular for breachers because of their Nomex fire retardant material and strong leather support. On his belt, he uses an Eagle Industries PRL in OD green and an Eagle Industries quick extraction strap. He also wears the standard issue tan combat boots. For his hearing and head protection, he uses the KSK Custom Contact 2s. And on his head, he wears a standard non-painted MSA TC APH, and this is a German Bundeswehr issued one. This particular commando also wears the Oakley fan goggles on top of his helmet. Now, let's dive into the belt line. His combat belt is based on the standard Linderhof Tactic Ballistic Battle Belt. In it, instead of the standard buckle, he uses an Eagle Industries quick extraction strap here as well. In the center, you'll see a small horizontal GP pouch, accompanied by a standard issued olive dump pouch, a small Linderhof Tactic frag pouch, and a double Linderhof Tactic magazine pistol pouch with no flaps. On the opposite side, we'll see a Linderhof Tactic weapons catch, and this is to hold his shotgun. And you'll see on a G-code paddle, a Safariland 6004 holster, which is specific for the HK UTL light mounted on a P8. His primary weapon is the G36 KA1, and this is the standard issue style. As you'll see, we have the KA1 KSK top rail with folding MP7 sights. We have the KAC railed handguard and a short G36C length stock. Accessories on this replica include the EOTech 552, an LLM-01 with a long cable fit on his KAC foregrip. Right now, I have a standard magazine, although in this training, they're using simunition rounds. So I've included some details to make it look like a simunition bolt up here. A fun thing to note is he also custom made a sling point for his replica. This piece right here attaches to his plate carrier, which we'll take a look at soon. A couple of details I'd like to improve on this KA1 replica not only include that magazine, but I'd like to get the appropriate G17 mount for my real LLM, and I would like to change these markings to the SEF ones. And of course, the final detail is this teardrop on this EOTech replica. The correct one that they used back then just had the two circles and not this teardrop shape. My pistol replica is not painted blue to show it is also sim adapted, but it is a standard USP P8 replica with the HK UTL. Lastly, we're going to dive into the plate carrier, which is my absolute favorite part of this kit. The standard issue plate carrier of this time frame was the Linderhof Tactic Gen 3, and for a breacher setup, he loaded this thing up fully. Let's start with the front plate bag. work our way to the middle, and then to the rear plate bag and cummerbund. His front plate bag has a myriad of pouches that are specific to the breacher kit. On his Linderhof Tactic Gen 3, he has the Linderhof shotgun shell pouch with 5 shotgun shells on the outside and a few tucked inside. Below that, he has 2 single magazine pouches with 2 red chem lights in each. No magazines are present in this one. However, on top of it, he has a Linderhof Tactic quad banger pouch with 4 flashbangs, the DM109s to be specific. 3 of them are standard OD, and 1 of them is the blue training one. Next to those magazine pouches and grenades, he uses a Linderhof Tactic double magazine pouch, and in here, he carries 2 magazines as you would expect. And attached to the side of that pouch is a Linderhof Tactic pistol pouch, where he has another P8 magazine and a tool tucked behind in a second mag pouch. I wasn't able to decipher exactly what it was, so I left it bare for now. However, as we transition to the shoulder straps, one thing you'll notice is this custom sling setup. I'm not exactly sure if he made this himself. I believe it is parts of an HK sling, but I wanted to replicate this as authentically as possible and made one myself. Also hanging off his shoulder strap is his shotgun. This is an M870 breacher style shotgun that's attached with a Bundeswehr bungee cord. All of the gaffer's tape that you see on mine is the same and replicated on his. However, what you will note is that this shotgun, especially the end of it, is not exactly as the one he has in his photos. So I replicated this as closely as I could with the materials I had for the time, but I would be looking to improve this in the future. On his standard Gen 3 shoulder straps, he has a Streamlight Sidewinder attached again with gaffer's tape. On the rear of his plate bag, you'll see 3 pouches, the first of which being another quad banger pouch with 2 blue training DM109s. You'll also see a very rare Linderhof Tactic tool pouch. This gold colored tool pouch holds none other than the Ruletech Alti Huli. Note, this is the old gen version with the flat pry bar. As we move over to his cummerbund, on the less exciting one, we have a very rare Linderhof Tactic slap charge pouch. However, it didn't look like he had anything in his. And I have another empty single magazine pouch from Linderhof, but this time with a Benchmade strap cutter. As we move over to the final cummerbund piece, we see 3 very interesting pieces. Number 1, we have a Linderhof Tactic multicam IFAK pouch. This particular one was issued to an operator who did that exact training with the exact same equipment. He was a very fun guy to talk to. Additionally, we'll see a Peltor dual radio push-to-talk system. You'll notice on this setup, he only has 1 radio, which we'll get to, so it's very interesting that they used the dual PTT setup. However, you can iconically see the 2 cables going underneath his pouch, as well as this little flip button here to switch between the 2. He routes his mic extension cable right up through the bungee of the pouch. And lastly, you'll also see the radio setup. This is a replica PRC 148 radio in an old gen Linderhof Tactic radio pouch. The only main difference you'll notice with mine is it has a small tan Velcro piece sewn on there. I received this from another operator in call, so I decided to leave that on there, even though it is not necessarily the exact same one that the guy had in the photos. This is just a small add-on piece, but the radio pouch is the same issued one. I think now it's gonna be time for me to hang this impression up for a bit. I absolutely love this, and I'm so glad I was finally able to show you guys all of the hard work and detail that went into this. Now that KVB has moved on, I will say I'm a little bit sad that we're no longer using this setup. However, moving on to the Gen 5 is a huge improvement. Regardless, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. If you guys want to see more from this kit or any other kits from that era in the future, let me know in the comments below. This is the Gear Locker. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you breaching some buildings next time and not out wherever this is.